Hi, everyone, and welcome to the new moon in Leo. And what we're going to be doing today is our new moon in Leo intention planting ceremony. So at the new moon, we plant our intentions, and that's what we're going to do today. So this one, I'm just going to cut right to the chase because it's summer, and I'm sure you guys all have a lot of really fun and exciting things to do. But we are going to get into the ritual. So, as a reminder, if you are a Lunar Manifestations member, you can download the Square of Life bonus training in the bonus training section. And I put all 12 of the new and full moon Square of Life. I printed up some little PDFs for you guys to have in there. So that you can print them out and have them on in your office, on your wall, wherever you want them. But I made them. If you don't, you can also just blank piece of paper. We keep this super simple. Take it, fold it in half, and you're going to write health, wealth, love, and perfect self-expression. If you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure you go watch the bonus training. If you do know what I'm talking about, and you've been around for a while, you may have heard me talk about how you can change the wording on the Foursquare. So when I started doing Lunar Manifestations, I started with health, wealth, love, and perfect self-expression. And recently I have moved, sorry, you're gonna see me. I've moved away from that and changed into ease, flow, connection, and expansion. Because for me, those were just like what was coming up in my life. How could I have my days flow easier? How could I ease into the abundance that the universe is showering upon me? And connection, that's me for like my spiritual practice. How could I continue to grow, continue to evolve, continue to develop my mediumship, and bring like more leading edge information to you all? And co-create with you all in that space, because what I'm finding is this space is so dynamic now. Every time something gets created in here, it's amplified, and that wouldn't be possible without the connection element. You know, it's really easy to read every spiritual development book there is on the shelf, but when it comes time to actually engaging with others and connecting and through the good and bad that is the human experience, that's when you really learn how to put that stuff into practice. And then expansion, I talk about the 80-20 rule. You may have already seen the ritual for this. I off the top of my head can't think of which ritual it's in, but there's this principle called the 80-20 principle, and it essentially says that 20% of what we do gets 80% of our results. And it's true for the spirit. So when I was first learning about that principle, I realized that it also applies to spirit. And so actually like 80% of our spiritual essence is still up in the ethers, and only 20% is down here, like within our conscious frame. So at any given moment, if we're in our conscious brain, if we're in our thinking brain, our analytical brain, we're actually only accessing about 20% of our spiritual brain, or of our spiritual essence, if you will. And so for me, expansion, I wanted to do the best that I could to reverse that and to get into 80-20 as much as possible, meaning using 80% of my spiritual connection while here in the physical. But as a wife and a mother and a business owner, it's not always possible, and I'm sure you probably have similar experiences in your life. But again, I just wanted to offer that up to you, that you could use some new words: ease, flow, connection, and expansion. You could also use health, wealth, love, and perfect self-expression. Send me a message and tell me what ones are coming up for you, because I really, the bedrock of my mediumship is the belief that we can all do this and we all have spiritual gifts. It's just a matter of tapping into them. And so I don't like to teach a one-size-fits-all approach. In fact, I think that every one of you has something that is just right for you. And the more you listen to yourself and allow that to come up and then share that with confidence, the more you'll grow in your spiritual gifts and the more you'll contribute to the world around you. And I definitely want to hear what your words are. So I know a lot of you guys have heard me talk about being a high school teacher for 10 years. And it was actually 12 years. 2 I did in curriculum development, but I was out of the classroom, and I really miss that. And I really enjoyed this space because I learned so much from you. So if you've got something, a 4-quadrant that you're just really excited about, let me know, and I'll share it with others. Or if you just want me to know, send it to me, and I will be so honored to look at that. I'll put an A+ on it. Mrs. Seibel approved. Okay. So make sure that you do those, and during the next 2 to 3 days during the new moon phase, you're going to want to plant your intentions. Now you can do 2 things on here. You can do a 2-week manifestation and then a 6-month manifestation, because as we've talked about, things unfold, like micro manifestations will happen in about 2 weeks. Macro will happen over the course of 6 months. So for example, I just had a really great micro win, which was we got a bill for a water heater in a rental property that we had to pay. I was like, oh man, and I, did my manifestation magic, and I was like, what would it take for the universe to have my back on this and take care of this for me? And it did. So within about 2 weeks between the last new moon and the Capricorn full moon, it was taken care of. So that's like a little micro win that you might want to put down on there. Like if it's for wealth, if you've got something coming up that you really need, like a hard deadline, a new client, a new offering, just anything, just whatever you've got, house payments, anything like that. Put it in there that, like, if there's a short-term deadline that the universe can support you on. And then if it's something like longer term, like a 6-month, you'll write that down there as well. So I guess I could show you this one. Ooh, you guys get to see my personal one. You could take a screenshot of that if you want. Hopefully it's all good. Yeah, so I always do like a 2-week and then like a 6-month, but you don't have to. And then make sure that on the back, you are noting the corresponding full moon. So this is for my Cancer new moon, which was just before the Leo new moon. So I've got my Cancer new moon on the front, and I've noted the date. And then on the other side, I have the Cancer full moon and when that date is. So that's going to be coming up in like January 2020. So because we are in the Leo full moon, you're going to look 6 months ahead and note the date. Remember, you can always go to the astrological references that are in the e-course and that are in the members forum to look ahead to find those dates. I always kind of try to keep those posted out about a year behind and about a year ahead, so that if you're reflecting on anything, like what we do during the full moon harvest ceremonies, you can look back, and then for the new moon, when you're planting your intentions to go forward, you can look forward. So there's that. Okay, so I'm just going to take a few more minutes to talk about the energy of the Leo new moon, and then I am going to send you off with love and light to plant your intentions. Okay, oh, this is a good one. Okay, Leo new moon, doing less to achieve more. Boy, do I always need a reminder of that. There are many modes of manifesting, but the difference between efforting and allowing is trust that the universe has your back. So how little are you willing to do to achieve your dreams? In our modern world that moves at a lightning pace and expects us to be on 24/7, constantly moving, achieving, and angling to meet deadlines, beat the competition, and outmaneuver anyone who we perceive to have what we want, or, heaven forbid, be ahead of us, what if doing less could actually get you farther ahead? We've all heard the story about the turtle and the hare. The confident hare believes that the turtle couldn't possibly outrun him in a race, while the turtle continues to move ahead at a slow and steady pace. The rabbit speeds along, arrogantly choosing to rest and wait for the turtle to catch up. As the allegory goes, the exhausted hare continues to sleep as the consistent turtle proceeds to the finish line first. During the last lunar cycle, we harnessed the energy of letting the non-physical aspects of the universe and our physical environments work for us, using the Bhagavad. With the new moon in Leo, it's time we shift into a steady pace and achieve more by doing less, with a ritual of accepting the gifts the universe is ready to deliver to us and finding ways to give thanks that is the splendor that is ours by divine right. I hope you guys have heard me talk about divine right. A girlfriend of mine introduced me to this concept a while ago. She used to always say, oh, I really hope, it's actually Adrienne, the gal I talk a lot about, who I created this whole platform for. Which, if you ever think that like you can't achieve your dreams, just focus on changing something for the better for one person. And if you focus intently on doing something really good for one person, chances are that will ripple and that will be magnified, because you will put so much love and so much effort into it that it'll flourish. It's kind of like they call them voluntaries in gardening, where like, let's say you plant one bush and, you really are like tending that one, and then you come back and like violets are voluntaries, and they're not violets. Are they called, I can't remember the name of them. Not violets. Oh, they're the really cute ones that are on Alice in Wonderland, and they kind of look like cats. Like, they look like they might have whiskers. Oh, I cannot believe this. We had them all the time growing up. I can't think of them. Send me a DM on what they are. Send me a message, because I cannot remember. But anyways, they're volunteers when you're focused on the one thing that you've planted, and then all this other good spreads and pops up voluntarily because you were so busy tending that one plant or that one seed, or that one person's dreams with so much love and intention, that by virtue of doing that, the universe took note and more spread. So I can't even remember how I got on that tangent. But essentially, the more love we're able to put into one thing with intention, the more things can voluntarily spring up in our periphery without us having to outmaneuver or outthink or outwit or angle or work hard to get it. So, so sorry. I'm going to leave it there. And happy planting. Okay, with love and light, Autumn.